Hey guys, welcome back to Midwest Long Range. I'm Chris. We are going to look at a new video series today. We're going to do the CZ457. That's going to be the rifle we use. This is a used rifle that I picked up. We're going to kind of go from mild to wild. So let's take a close look at what we got to work with, and I'll be right back. Guys, now that we've had a chance to look at the rifle, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Like I said, just a used 457. It is not 100% bone stock. It does have an Area 419 30 MOA rail on it. It does have a yodave trigger spring, and it also has a enlarged bolt knob. One thing I did do, kind of just let everybody know right out of the box, obviously this is a pro varmint, but it had the 16.5-inch barrel. My friend Dalton had the takeoff barrel from his precision trainer. I snagged that from him because I feel like the folks who are really into PRS are going to go with the longer barrels, not for increased accuracy or velocity, because you don't need that per se. A 16-inch barrel will get you about all you need. But for balance, it seems like guys are going to longer and longer barrels. It seems like 18, 20, 22 is the go-to range. The plan for this rifle is very simple. We're going to start in this more or less factory configuration with the simple upgrades that anyone would do getting into a CZ, and we are going to take this from video to video, making upgrades as we go, as any shooter would. And I'm going to kind of show the things that we think are worthwhile and just how long can we survive per se with this Boyd stock, modifying it, maybe putting in adjustable cheek risers, free float bed, whatever we can do to keep this rifle in that stock and spend our money in other places. Maybe better trigger, maybe a better barrel, maybe better optics, you don't know. But this is pretty typical of what you would see any entry-level shooter coming to a precision rimfire match with. This is where a lot of them start, so this is where we're going to start. We're going to march our way through this video series and see if we can't upgrade this rifle as we go. So let's see what it's capable of now. Let's get it on the range. All right, so to begin with, what we're going to do, we're just going to get behind the rifle, size it up, and see how it fits. I can see a few things that are probably not going to fit me real good, but and obviously I don't have a sling stud mounted bipod right now. All of my stuff's either Picatinny or Arca, so I gotta find one. But for now, we're just gonna use a bag just for mock-up purposes. So first off, we're just gonna get behind the rifle and see if we can get comfortable. Well, that's gonna be a problem. So right off the bat, obviously the length of pull is probably a little bit short for me, maybe. Probably wouldn't be bad on a barricade, but shooting prone, I could see it being a little short. That being said, to get my cheek weld the way I like it, I can't even see through the scope. I'm looking underneath it. So definitely gonna have to do some modification here to make the gun even usable for myself. So that's just a couple of real quick one-offs when you get in here. So I'll have to do something to get up here where I can actually see through the scope comfortably and repeat my position. All right, so a couple of notes right off the bat right there. So let's get it out the window and let's just see what kind of groups we can shoot. The wind is whipping. We'll give it a shot anyway. I don't have a lot of high hopes. All right, so what we're going to do is we've got the CZ. We're just going to do a little bit of ammo testing here, nothing special. The wind is really blowing. I even had trouble with center fire guns because of the wind today. So not a lot of high hopes for groups right here. But all I've got to test also is SK rifle match and SK long range match. Those are my primary ammos that I use. And that's just what I happen to have on hand. So we've got rifle match up first. There will be a cold bore shot, so do keep that in mind. There's group one. What I am going to do, I'll shoot one more 5-shot group. Treat that one kind of like a Fowler, you know, of the SK rifle match. We'll get this done. Then we'll shoot 10 rounds of the SK long range match. Get used to the CZ magazine here, and then we may go run the gun off of cattle panel. So all right, here we go. Man, I threw that one. Holy crap. Well, that wasn't very good. But again, today is just a bad day to shoot like this. That wind is terrible. But I only get so many days to sit down and do this. So today, it's going to be today. All right. Some SK long range match. This stuff seems to shoot really good out of my Voodoo 360. So here's to wondering what it'll do in the CZ. It tends to be a little faster. To the left. Not great, but compared to the other two, I'd probably take it on a day like today. I wish you guys could see in the scope. I've really got to get some kind of scope camera, a Tacticam or a side shot or something, because if you could see just how much my heartbeat is shaking that scope, it even at just 50 yards, it is challenging. And I rarely ever shoot out of the chair, so we're just shooting modified prone here. I can't get a good cheek weld either, like we discussed earlier in the video. I'm having to shoot kind of off my chin. And that is not typical for me. Back out to the left. Ooh, really slung that one out there. Might have caught a gust or something. One more. Now that is more what I am used to seeing out of these guns. The wind laid down just a little bit. We had one flyer. I don't know if that's a flyer or the wind or me. I'm really hustling trying to get this done while we got a break in the wind today. But let's get it down on one of the panels. We'll shoot some of the steel with it. Just show you kind of how I'm feeling, how the gun feels to me at the state it's in right now, as if I was going to run a stage with it or something like that. So let's go. All right, so we're going to take 5 shots downrange, one from each shot from a different position, as if we're running a stage. I've only got a 5-round magazine, so this is what I'm going to have to do to make this kind of work. This is not a precision 22 target I'm shooting at either. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of those set up down there right now. But we're going to go ahead. We're just going to run this through, try to run it as quickly as I can, and just as I'm going through, if I notice anything about the gun that stands out, I may kind of talk about it as I'm shooting. So here we go. We'll get this thing going. Engage. I can barely see the target. I can see the top. Oh, missed one. Last one. Do not like the curved trigger shoe. Do not like it at all. Missed that one too. Whew. Alright guys, that pretty well wraps up video 1 for today. Some immediate takeaways that I know I need to address straight away is I got to get something going on back here to get my cheek weld in a proper alignment. I think some of my misses are attributed to the fact that I'm not comfortable. I'm really struggling to get into the scope and onto the rifle comfortably. Another thing that I felt really awkward was the curved trigger shoe. I shoot a straight trigger shoe normally, and I just nothing quite felt right for me. Other than that, the gun really shoots pretty good. If the wind would ever die down, I don't know if you can see back here in the background just how everything's moving around, but it's a really neat little gun, and I think it's going to shoot really, really well. Now I've got to get it fit for me. I got to get everything working the way I want it to. So that being said, this is the end of this one. We'll make some modifications, come back for the next one, and we'll see what we've done. I know I gotta get some 10-round mags, because without that, you're not gonna run matches. So just another thing, but little CZ457, build it from mild to wild. Here we go. Catch you next time.